I'll be going ahead and presenting for my chosen career in criminal justice. Would be a dispatcher. So I'll go ahead and start with the slideshow. Go ahead and go to the beginning. Okay, anyways, what is a dispatcher? A dispatcher is essentially a person that would respond to 911 calls. You would be a first responder in a sense. You are essentially the one who picks up the calls, the one that says 911, what's your emergency, and essentially taking notes, making sure you're making reports, and sending the correct units to go ahead to aid those people in need. I'm just really drawn to this because honestly, the idea of like mental health is super important to me, and honestly, I'm just super drawn to it. And then someone gave me the recommendation to actually be essentially a dispatcher, and I just kind of just threw it off to the side. And then when I looked into it, and I actually applied, I'm actually currently in the process of trying to get hired. I just never knew how important it is for being a dispatcher for the community. It's just the emotional like fulfillment, and job security, that I really love. And I just feel like getting to make a difference mentally, like I've been known to be such a calming person when it comes to like speaking, and just being overall like there for people would mean like the absolute world. So I essentially interviewed with the San Diego County Dispatcher. I reviewed job requirements, certifications, studied testing procedures and training paths, explored real dispatcher stories and forums. So honestly, you don't really need too much education when it comes to being a dispatcher. They don't require you to have like a bachelor's degree or anything. It's just high school diploma, like work experience. If you have experience in criminal justice and psychology, that's great. And also, if you have any certifications like EMD, CPR, POST, like that's great as well. But yeah, so it's essentially the application. And I wrote this because this is what I looked up, but honestly, from what I've been going through, it's been application, critical test, interview, background check, and training academy. So this whole process actually takes 4 to 8 months. I actually went to the Kearney Mesa criminal justice, I think, department, like somewhere in Kearney Mesa. And I went there for a hiring event, and I had the critical test. If I were to pass, you go to get your interview, and then you get a background check, everything on the same day. Unfortunately, I didn't pass because it's such a rigorous test. It essentially tests like your typing speed, like how fast you can type, and just like overall for you to make decisions like on the spot. It requires strong communications and listening skills. Like it's super multitasking. During the test, they make you type out information that you're listening to while also responding to like a distress call on the bottom, and for you to like send the proper units. But yeah, so just all together in total, it just can just take 4 to 8 months. So yeah, but honestly, it's all worth it from what I've been experiencing. Is honestly, when I first came into this career, dispatcher is honestly super emotionally draining, and it could be emotionally demanding. And because honestly, you're going to be listening to all these calls, all these people being super in distress and in need, and honestly, you're probably going to be there for a lot of traumatic events where maybe for whatever the reason is, first responders can't get there in enough time to be there for the person, and that can just be emotionally demanding and heartbreaking as well. So honestly, mental health counseling would be so preferred when going to this career. Salary and work conditions. So there's a lot of benefits coming into like healthcare, retirement, paid time off, overtime, and night shifts. for the San Diego community are actually required. They require you to do overtime, and I think it's like 80 cents additional per hour. 45 to 75,000. The trainee actually makes 73,000 per year. Conditions can be 10 to 12 hour shifts, rotating shifts, high call volumes, and fast pace. You will be in a 24-hour calls, 24/7 call center. So it just will require you to just work like very long hours. And yeah, I did have an interview with Emily Morales. She's a lead dispatcher. I actually did get to meet her at the training session, and essentially just advice that she gave me was just voice is a lifeline. Like my voice would be the lifeline for so many people. You're gonna be the voice in need of people, and just learn to just read just between the lines. Emotional control is super super key, and just understanding that like you just like patience, calm, and making sure you're getting all the details, just being super attentive, super important at the end of the day. Honestly, self-reflection, I just see that dispatching is just a mix of emotions. It's strategic and it's very technical. I never understood like how important it was to be a dispatcher, and I just never knew how demanding it would be. To just it would just improve my multitasking, and it would just develop a lot of emotional boundaries, and like not to have work in my life just being in the middle of all this. Honestly, when it comes to sacrificing the contributions, emotional distress would be a big one, but also shift work. They do require you to work holidays, and just making sure that you're there, like you have open availability at the very most. It is a full-time job. You are working 10 to 12 hour shifts. So you're working just as much as like high healthcare workers, because you will be there. Like you are a first responder, just as what healthcare workers are as well. And I just want to make sure that like I have good memory, I have good care for people in crisis, and clear, calm communication skills. And honestly, Jeremiah 29:11 really reminded me, in crisis I can offer calm and clarity. My voice may become someone's comfort. I seek to glorify God by helping others. I just honestly really want to make an impact in my community. I really want to be there for people. I really just want to just make an impact in San Diego and just be there for people mentally. I honestly was really going for the career of being a therapist, but I just feel like I get to have the perfect opportunity to be there in their most vulnerable moments, and I just want to be their lifeline. Anyways, well, that concludes my presentation. I really appreciate this so